Hi there, my name is Moray and welcome to our history YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the Queen of Sheba. The Queen of Sheba is a fascinating topic. We see the Queen of Sheba in the Hebrew Bible. We see her in books 1 and 2, the Chronicles. We see her in the Qur'an, and we see her even in Christian literature. The Queen of Sheba has been associated with luxury. Who is she? Does she think she's the Queen of Sheba? My friend Fatma, who's hopefully watching this, tells me that the names associated with anything to do with the Queen of Sheba are very, very popular in the Arabic world. So I ask, where did the Queen of Sheba come from? The Queen of Sheba is a figure that many countries want to associate themselves with, and she's such a famous figure. But we're going to talk about the countries where she could be from before we get into the Queen of Sheba's origins. Let's talk about the holy books that feature the Queen of Sheba. The first one we'll be talking about is the Bible. In Matthew 12, I don't know, I've never recited a Bible verse in my life. That's really bad as somebody who's baptized. In Matthew 12:42 and Luke 11:31, Jesus refers to her as the Queen of the South. The Queen of Sheba hears of King Solomon's wisdom and travels to Jerusalem with a caravan of riches. Spices, gold, and precious stones are included in this caravan that she carries. She tests Solomon with hard questions and he answers them with ease. Impressed by Solomon's wisdom, she blesses the God of Israel. She gives Solomon lavish gifts and he gives her in return all she desires. Her name is never given. She is simply the Queen of Sheba. In the Quran, the Queen of Sheba is named Bilqis. And Fatma, I'm sorry if you're watching this, I'm pronouncing it really wrong. In this account, Solomon hears of a powerful queen ruling Sheba. And Solomon sends her a letter telling her to submit to the one true God. Solomon impresses her with a magically transported throne, and Bilqis recognizes the power of God and she submits. In this account, Bilqis is portrayed as a wise ruler who chooses the truth. Talk about the Queen of Sheba in Ethiopian tradition. In the Kebra Nagast. I apologize if I'm pronouncing any of these terms wrong. I hope you have patience with me. In this narrative, she is the ruler of Ethiopia. And again, in this account, she travels to Jerusalem to hear Solomon's wisdom. Solomon tricks her into sleeping with him if she promises not to take anything from his house. And he offers her water, which she takes. She becomes pregnant and returns to Ethiopia. And she becomes pregnant with a son, Menelik I. Menelik later visits Solomon. Solomon gifts Menelik the Ark of the Covenant. There are many later pieces of folklore and legend that mythologize her. However, what do historians say about where she was from? Today we're going to be talking about countries such as Yemen with the Kingdom of Saba, Ethiopia, and Somalia's connection to the Queen of Sheba. Let's discuss Saba in southwestern Arabia. The Kingdom of Saba, which is now in present-day Yemen, flourished from the 8th century BCE. Its capital, Marib, was a huge center, and it was a deeply advanced civilization. There are inscriptions with Sabaean rulers, and there are biblical descriptions of a queen armed with lots of gold. The Sabaean economy thrived on spice, and these came from the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa. Camels, gold, and precious stones were also part of the Sabaean economy. And as we've stated in the Islamic world, the Queen of Sheba is named Bilqis. The Maram Bilqis, or the Sanctuary of the Queen of Sheba, was a major temple dedicated to the major god Amakwa, and it reflects the Sabaeans' spirituality. There are locations in Oman and Yemen that have also been linked to Bilqis. Historically, the idea of the Queen of Sheba being connected to Yemen really fits because Saba and Sheba sound very, very similar. Recent studies of the Ophel inscription from ancient Jerusalem reveal a word written in Southern Arabic. Historians think because of this, there is contact between the Kingdom of Judah and Saba in the 10th century BCE. However, there is a direct lack of archaeological evidence or textual evidence. Like, this is all we have so far. And if we look at the rulers of Saba, no queen is mentioned. So wouldn't a queen like the Queen of Sheba be mentioned in those inscriptions? Maybe because of this. She could have been a diplomat or a wife to one of the kings. The myth maybe have evolved, so there would be a female ruler and it would be a better story. Ethiopia also has links to the Queen of Sheba. The 14th century Ethiopian epic, the Kebra Nagast, tells a story of a queen similar to the Queen of Sheba. Ethiopia has a wonderful history too. A huge tradition of gold. Some of the mines in Ethiopia are over 6,000 years old. And if we look at what was in the Queen of Sheba's caravan, camels, precious stones, gold, very Ethiopian. Now then, in Axum itself, German archaeologists have stated that that's where they think the Queen of Sheba came from. And in 2008, they stated that this is where they thought the Queen of Sheba's former palace was. However, this is not contemporary proof of her existence. Sudan and Kush also link themselves to the Queen of Sheba through the Horn of Africa. And modern day scholars think that the Sabaean kingdom was on both sides of the Red Sea. Let's talk about the Somalian connection. Somalia was part of the trading route of the Red Sea, and it's the Bab el Mandeb Strait that serves as a key trading route. This trading route is why the Somalians state that the Queen of Sheba could be from there. So, from this video, I personally believe the most evidence we have of the Queen of Sheba is that she comes from Yemen, modern day Yemen. Whilst Ethiopia and Somalia do offer some good claims, it's really hard because history is so opaque and it breaks my heart how little evidence we have for things. Look, wherever the Queen of Sheba comes from, her influence is absolutely huge. So that's one thing we have going for her. Hopefully, we'll find out more about Queen of Sheba in the future with the enhancements in AI, which are good for archaeology, not for video making. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye.